Good evening, beautiful people. How you doing? Welcome to the Wednesday Vibes on Free Flowing Thoughts. Today we have a very divine brother who's coming up to speak about his naturalistics and his journey to natural remedies and so much more. So I'm going to wait for him to pull up. We have here he is. Oh no, that's not him. Hey sister, how you doing? Yeah, welcome. Let's wait for our guest speaker to pull up. Hello, namaste. Let's wait for our guest speaker, Dee Carbon, to pull up on the live. Hello. Okay, so we have guest speaker Dee Carbon, otherwise known as Body Messiah, and he's going to be chopping it up with me this evening about all things natural and maybe even spiritual, as it goes hand in hand. So if you can press the request button for me, Dee. Or shall I come and get you? Maybe you're not seeing the request button. Just for your notification, guys, viewers and participants, sometimes people have struggles to get on the live. It just means their app needs to be updated. That's often the reason. But hopefully, yeah, we have him here. Need these eye drops at this point. Honestly. Hello.
Greetings. Empress, how are
Greetings.
you?
You're looking a bit foggy.
Am I?
Yeah, actually, while I'm talking to you, I need to wipe my, because sometimes we don't realize, guys, but just because the lens on the back of our cameras has been touched or, whatever, it can actually have a whole distorting look on your life, which has happened to me before. It was all cloudy because my lens needed to be wiped. So maybe that's what it is with yours. I've just wiped mine. These, you look, it's either smoky in your room or it's cloudy. One of the two. Oh, that's
I
actually
wish it was.
better.
I was,
Is that better? Is that a little bit better? Whatever you just done.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot better. Well, welcome, brother. Guys, we have a special guest speaker, Dee Carbon, otherwise known as Body Messiah. Yeah, he is a self-proclaimed naturalistic healer and so much more. Today, I'm hoping to unlayer him herb by herb. Herb by herb, yeah, and get into the dynamics of how it became, what inspired him, and so much more. And of course, what products he has that we can all support investing and partake in. Yeah. So, Dee, before I get into the layers, I love to do something called a warm up zone. It's not intrusive unless you want it to be. Yeah. It's just basically soul connecting with you from that perspective. And that way, myself and the viewers can get a deeper understanding of what you like a little bit as a character. Is that all right?
yes, bring it on.
Yeah. But before I do, it's been such a hoo-ha today with traffic and stuff. I always start my lives with naturally burning some herbs, and just how I do my thing, as my ritual goes. Yeah. So let's do that. Okay. So let's start with how did you spend your day today before coming on the live? What did you get up to?
Me personally, what I
Mhm.
did, I soaked up the day, got as long of a meditation period as I
Oh,
could today.
nice,
Praying for
nice.
you and everything else. Then after getting up, I think it's like later on in about, say, the afternoon period, about 10, 11, started doing what I needed to do as far as reaching out to people that's literally made orders or whoever's
Nice.
called. flotations. I was supposed to go out and make a couple of runs. I wanted to get to you
And now,
before
so you
we
forgot
even
all
done
about the
the
host, huh?
so I can get you to sample this body massage eye so you can tell the people from your experience.
Well,
But
I still intend
exactly,
to do that as ASAP. Absolutely, absolutely. I still intend to do, but obviously, I trust whatever you are distributing is, empowered. So let's see how that goes. Yeah. So tell me a bit about your, if you don't mind sharing your type of meditation, because obviously when we think of hey Ron, when we think of meditation, we think about it in a one-dimensional way, and people can hold the meds in so many different ways. Yeah. Whether that's, I mean, that I spoke to a Nigerian gentleman for the last 3 weeks, and he talks about, like sand meditation, where you just like literally either have your feet or even like have your sand up to here, and that's a form of meditation. Never heard of sand meditation before, did you?
yes, yes, absolutely. Because
Okay.
apparently certain crystals and different electrolytes that comes through the sand. What I did, I went
Ooh.
outside earlier, grounded myself,
Mm-hmm.
barefooted, as cold as
Yes.
it went out there on the grass, done
Mm-hmm.
my little 5 minutes out there, hugged the one tree, came back
Oh,
in.
I love. Did you hug a tree for me? I hope you did, because I love trees.
Always when we hug it, send it out for the whole universe, for each and everything and everyone in it. All
Lovely, lovely. And I actually realized that I really enjoy hot heat meditation. So when I visit the sauna, the steam, should I say, preferably at least every 2 days, I really am able to center myself in the heat.
yeah, you're literally pushing out toxins. Every sweat you sweat, you're pushing out
Hmm.
toxins as much as you're cleansing the body as well at the same
Yeah,
time.
that's absolutely that. Okay, so you started off your day with your meditation, your grounding, and then being the practitioner that you are. Your second warm-up question would be, what is your origin? I don't want to guess or just admit that I know, but let the audience know where you're from.
Don't forget the food. I had to get something in
Oh,
the.
my bad. Sorry. Okay, you didn't fast, so you had. What did you have to eat today?
So after I came out of that, because I fast every day. For me, I fast every day.
The
So
lifestyle. Hmm.
yeah, every day between a certain period of time. It
Me
takes me
too.
like in the afternoon before I put anything in my stomach. So
Hmm.
I'm going through a fasting period during that time as well. And then
Okay.
what I do is make sure I get enough electric foods, live foods. And I to them, I steam down my cabbage, my
Oh,
pop chow,
nice.
my callaloo, and I have some green banana boiled with piece of yam and sweet potato and pumpkin.
Oh,
So
I love a pumpkin. I just don't enjoy peeling it.
yeah, loved it, loved it. So boil it. Boil it first. I tell people boil it with the skin. Boil it with the
Hmm.
skin.
I
It's
do
a
that.
lot
I cheat.
easier.
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can eat the skin sometimes, depending on who you're getting your pumpkin from.
Okay, so are you absolutely so? Well, does that mean that you are a naturalist to the point where you don't consume any form of flesh, whether that's fish or meat?
I am still dabbling in the fish bit every now and then.
So you're
I've
a
cut
bit
it
like
down
me.
way low. So
Hmm.
eventually, I should be able to get rid of
That
it.
will naturally transition. Like myself, I haven't had meat from like I think 2014. That happened naturally. Actually, I just tested. I just thought I'd do an experiment. What would happen if I stopped having bread, fizzy drink, and meat? And I was so skinny within about a month. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And then when I went to go back to the meat, my body just rejected it. It made me feel very nauseous. So I never went back to it. I still consume fish pretty much maybe a couple times a week, but other than that, it's pretty much plant-based. So we're both in transition on that, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So I say, with me, I tell people, I don't like taking on these new names,
Mhm.
plant-based and vegan and all.
Well,
I said,
but you know what it is? I'm with you. So let's just keep it from authenticity. Let's just say ITAR
earth
living,
food, there you
ITAR
go. So
liberty.
I
Let's just
tell
go all the way
people,
back to, yeah, you understand?
thank you. Everything that we need
Yeah.
when you research and you dive deep into it, it's simple. The Most High, the Creator, I say the mother and father of all things because I
Hmm.
always have to implement that female aspect. This is what nature shows me. So I
Absolutely.
don't say man the God, no, mother and father of all things. For all
Hmm.
the knowledge I've seen, then we definitely need to go to
Hmm.
what we know that sustains us on a cellular level. Because whatever happens to
Absolutely.
us on a micro level, that big level,
Hmm.
happens is starting to us on a micro level. So the cellular level we have to go to. And when you find out that the trees, the total alchemists of this world, it's a beautiful thing how the creator of this world is setting. We and them have a personal relationship, and everything we need
Nice.
for this temple here, everything that this
Absolutely.
temple needs comes from the earth or sunlight. That's it.
That makes sense. It's logical, yeah? It's logical. All right. So that's that. That's your food, your meditation, your grounding. It sounds like you had a very delicious day, to be honest, very enlightened and vibrational, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us what your origin is. Where are you from? Where's your folks
I
from?
am originally born on that island, that corporation island called Jamaica.
The JA, yeah?
Jamaica, Jam them on a acre. That's where I'm originally from. Born in there. Kingston 12, Jonestown,
Mm-hmm.
Jungle, as they call it, Trenchtown.
Uh-huh.
Praises to all the ones there. I try to be, I'm being that example to show people that it's not all this negative people that come from there. There's so much great that's come from there, and I'm trying to live up to that as well as we go on.
Well, you know, I thank you for that. I always say there is light and dark. We can say negative or positive in every creed, gender, race, and being. And so I think that people, the more people travel is the more they're going to expand on their ideals and their perspectives. Like, I think a lot of people, when you haven't really left your own parameters, you have a lot to say based on what you see on YouTube or what you see on TV. Yeah?
It's what we call a cultivation.
Yeah. Mindset.
You get cultivated depending on what region of the world, what country, and like you said, having that breakaway from that one cultivation, because it cultivates your mind.
Absolutely.
You live and
Absolutely.
understand and look at things a certain way. This world, this planet, whatever it is that the creator's made and given us, it's got stuff in abundance. Once you go out, you literally pick up different consciousness in learning and getting knowledge, and it's up to you to discern which and what you're going to use as far as your upliftment in life.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And travel definitely does that. Well, I am half Jamaican.
ooh,
Yeah, my mum's from Kingston, so whoop whoop. Yeah. Yeah, the
Kingston,
other half is, as we call it, the DA, Dominican Republic. Sorry, not Dominican Republic. Yeah, should I say, not the Spanish side, but the Caribbean side, the broken French side. So Dominica. Yeah, we have that in common. All right. What was you like? Because what was you like as the younger version of you? And I do like to hear that because you look at people, you have an assumption of what they do, how they represent themselves, and sometimes a lot of that stemmed from childhood. So, what was you? How would you describe yourself as a child?
I won't say sheltered. I won't have a word. There's no one word to describe it. I give
Give us a
praises,
few
all
words. We've
praise.
got time.
Yeah, I give all praises first and foremost to the mother and father of this light being that
Hmm.
got produced and came here on this
Mother
earth.
Earth, Father Sky, as Kevin Gates would
There
say.
you go. So I see my dad and my mom as the first teachers, seeing them growing up from all my memory, I call is my mom. She used to love flowering. She used to love planting. So she
Mm,
had a thing with flowers and everything. The lily was one of her favorite flowers. My dad,
nice.
all praises to him, Sir Lancelot Lawrence, and my mom, Miss Yvonne Ormsby. They both passed on now. But the
Oh,
legacy I got from them, from what I saw with him, he's a herbalist and he's well known in the community. There was this,
wow.
I tell people about the war in the 80s when they had this politics with the JLP and the PMP, and there was a lot of injury with bullets. Guns was coming into the country like nothing. And I saw him do super things with herbs, healing bullet wounds, getting people
Wow.
healthy again, and everything else. So something was already there. And as we said, it's that development, it's that cultivation, how you've been cultivated. So I was cultivated, I say a little bit sheltered, because he was
Mm.
a very disciplinarian. He literally traveled this whole planet. It's the first man I
Mm.
saw with a passport
Oh,
that
wow.
was stamped from back to forth. And he literally came back to Jamaica, sacrificed, and gave my mom the opportunity to go and travel to the States and see life and full joy her knowledge as well as and full joy.
Nice.
And he sacrificed and stayed with me and my two sisters. So he grew us all by himself for a few
Sounds like a
years.
sound role model that a lot of us could do even this generation, to be honest.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
the old fashioned way. It's what we
Mm-hmm.
say. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to give thanks to my aunts and uncles, grandma, grandpas,
Mm-hmm.
all of who played that role. They were all playing their role in the
Absolutely.
cultivation of I as this single being. So yeah,
Okay. Something tells me that you were, let me look at you, let me feel you. I reckon a cheeky chappy growing up, as in like, was you playful? Was you quite a playful or I know you say you were sheltered, but you unless you grew into that comical side, but I feel like you got a bit of playfulness or a bit of jovialness inside of you. Was you like that as a boy?
I got more conscious, yeah. I think more on the shy side, but
Really?
very playful, very sporty.
Mm,
Yeah, a little bit of cheekiness there in
mm.
Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? You had to be, you know what I'm saying?
I think so. I think so. That's what I said. It's like sometimes you have a particular character in a boy growing up, and all the girls just like hanging out with him. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. But some boys have that way about them, where girls just enjoy being in their company, and he's jovial and he's playful. I get that spirit from you.
You're reading just right. I put most of it down to the fact that I grew up with my sisters as well. So there was always this
Ah,
being in tune with that feminine side of things and that compassionate. Yeah, so
I sense that. I sense that. Nice. If you were to choose any color, and I got an idea that you're going to say something that no one else has said. Okay. If you were to choose any color that describes your character or even personality, what would it be?
ooh,
I should have written this down. I've got a feeling you're going to say what I think you're going to say, but go on.
gotta go with that color you see behind me.
And you're weird. Oh, okay, you shocked me. Okay,
I
we
gotta
can
go
say you're
with the
wearing
red.
the
I
color.
have to
Go
go
on.
with the red. I gotta go with the red. I have this love for blue as well. But that
Okay.
again, I'm not sure if it's because of what's been cultivated. I see the blue side of that color being more of a healing color, which is what I've
Ah,
to. The red, I don't go. Like I said, I was shy, so I wasn't this
ah.
now person. But it's like my presence, my aura. You can't miss me. You know what I'm saying? I vibrate that. I want the youths them to feel that when I go around them. I want
Mm.
everyone, everything and anyone that I go around with life in it to get that aura feel coming off of I because it's exuding love and all those things that I want the world to be and everything else.
You surprised me. I got it so wrong. How intuition? Come on, wake up. What's going on? You got it wrong today. I thought you was going to say, for some reason, I'm wearing my favorite color. I don't know why I thought you was going to say that. Yeah. But then when you said red, clearly maybe I was thinking of myself because red's my ultimate go-to. It's my favorite color. So, okay. And what's interesting, this is why I love the warm-up zone. Okay. Which we're still in, guys. And we're going to go to the main course in a moment. What I love about the warm-up zone, it takes us away from the handles that we claim is us. And sometimes it is us, but mainly handles are just attachments. That is not us, it's just attachments that we've embodied as us. So when I kind of have this warm-up zone, like when I asked you about your favorite color, you just became so much more engulfed and embodied and your whole face expression. And that's why I love the warm-up zone.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it allows us to go into spaces that we didn't think we're going to be speaking about. So it's natural. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and it opens up the people
Yeah.
that's literally you get more
So
relaxed.
red, you said blue. Do you have a favorite place in the entire world? I don't care if it's in your bathroom, your bath, your garden. Do you have a favorite place or space that you like to be in?
Not really. I'll say anywhere by myself at any given time.
Ah.
Anywhere by myself at any given time. There's these with some people the meditation can be they have to have a certain quiet place and everything else and certain it's got to be set a certain for me
Hmm.
I've been doing it so much I can literally go there everywhere anywhere but my favorite place I'll have to pick something around trees. I'll have to stay around the
Oh, so
trees.
you really embody nature then.
Absolutely
Hmm.
one.
Are you someone
Absolutely.
that if you spend like too long a time outside of nature that you crave it, or it's like me craving vegetables or fruits. I get a bit irritable if I haven't actually had any of that in 2 days. Do you feel that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. The
How did I
thing
know?
start itching.
Yeah.
I just had to literally just I went by a park just the other day and just late at night parked about there, walked around. I had to get it in. I had to get it in.
Yeah. I can't wait for
Just had
summer.
to
I've
pick
been a
us up.
bit chicken. It's been too cold for me, but I'm glad you managed to not allow the weather to separate what you need with the earth. That's amazing. One last question,
Bring it on. Bring it
which you're
on.
probably already doing, actually, but one last question. Hmm. If you could incorporate any change, if you could implement any change in this entire world, universe, planet, whatever you want to call it, what would it be and why?
Oh, baby.
Oh, he
Don't
called
do
me
that.
baby,
Baby,
guys.
there's so much. There's so much. There's so much.
I'm playing. What would it be? I think you've already started that journey, but there may be a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. There's this, sorry,
It's okay.
there's this, there's this feeling, there's this
Mm-hmm.
reality that I get
Mm-hmm.
about knowing, in the Most High, the Mother and Father of all things, just knowledging the whole symbiotic relationship of
Yeah.
everything, the universe down to us, and
Mm-hmm.
there's this blissfulness. There's the word. There's this blissfulness that we can all get here on this in this physical world
Mm-hmm.
if we can just debunk certain things that's been cultivated
Mm-hmm.
in. I
Unmet.
love everybody to feel. I love everybody to feel that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Nirvana feeling. If you know
I actually, I feel like I understand what you said because my mind went to a little bit not as expansive as what you just said, but my mind's gone to where I've been, which is unknitting a lot of all the stuff that I have knitted and I've allowed society to knit within me. So it's the debunking, like you said, of whether it's the mind, spirit, or whatever it is, and having that rebirth sometimes.
there you go. You can always associate a certain place to it, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there's some greater than some. But I've had some blissful experience on this earth. It's
Yeah.
just exuberant love. I just want that love for the earth. I want that Garden of Eden back. I want us all just
Ooh.
blissfulness. You know what I'm saying? It's a
By
beautiful
the
thing.
way you speak, I don't imagine you residing in UK for the rest of your life.
Wherever,
Yeah.
wherever,
Oh,
wherever,
okay. I can just see you
wherever.
with your palm trees
Absolutely,
and you're just in a place, but it's
absolutely.
probably only a couple of properties and just you and the land.
Yeah, with all of it, for me, how I've seen nature, the universe, the human body itself, like I said, the whole symbiotic workings of everything, and I know the whole ecosystem, the whole eco
Mm,
transformation of the earth. You need the winter area, you need the summer area. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
You need the watery area, you need the foresty area. So for me, it's wherever I'm at,
So you
it's
appreciate all seasons. You really do. For what it
all of it.
is. Ooh, well, Dee, thank you very much for participating in the warm-up zone. You see, guys, we've got something. We've just been able to get a little bit more from this young man. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the layers, guys. Just to recap. First of all, welcome, guys. We're going to create space to check out comments and etc. Please feel free to ask or add or whatever else you want. This is Dee Carbon, otherwise known as Body Messiah, and today we're going to be talking about all things natural, and of course, it entwines with the spiritual. Right, Dee?
Bring it on, baby. Bring
Yeah.
it on.
So let's start with Body Messiah. How many times have I told you that I love that brand name?
Oh yes, the name is absolutely a miraculous thing. It took us months to really get a name for the drink itself, because
Mm-hmm.
the more we was advertising it for one thing, the more we was getting these calls back from people saying it does this as well. It's
Oh
cured this,
my
it's
goodness,
cleared this,
really?
that's cleared, this cleared. So it took months, and I think it was like it was like about 2, 3 in the morning. I was driving with my brother over in Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very religious. He hasn't stepped to that spiritual ladder yet,
Mm-hmm.
but he's very
Mm-hmm.
religious. And he said Messiah.
Ooh, okay.
He was going off the Christ that came to heal
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked at it on that level, and I said body Messiah, and that's how the name was birthed.
I love it because obviously we hear Messiah, and I guess, had I heard it in singular mode, I'd have been like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Messiah, or it's like saying Empress or Queen or God. It's being done. It's being done, and it's being done, or whatever names people come out with, or King this or whatever. But I think the fact that you incorporated the body with the Messiah, it made me. I told you, I kind of had this feeling on and energy vision of whether that went into Reiki, whether that went into masseuse, whether that went into hand healing or reading energy. It just incorporates a lot of where that brand can and is already at. That's how I feel about that name. So I love it.
absolutely,
Yeah, I love
absolutely.
it. Where did the journey begin? Because yeah, let's talk about that because I feel like sometimes people watch things, can be inspired, may feel they don't know where to start, you know, this journey. Let's start with, where did the spark of inspiration begin for you to even think of creating?
Well, the spark was it was definitely me seeing what was happening with cancer. I was watching.
Mm,
I was always into the health bit. I was getting the spiritual messages already in regards to directing me towards certain herbs.
mm-hmm.
One of it was my uncle. I'll get into that. One of it was my
Sure.
uncle. These are the ingredients of the body messiah: the neem leaf, the bark of the bitterwood, and vitamin B17 that we extract from the apricot seed. Now,
Mm,
the neem leaf, I was in Jamaica for a few months, and I play football every weekend. And I remember my uncle seeing me, and I took my shirt off, and he was like, "I got we call it liver spot.
okay.
It's acne and the skin fungus. It's fungus on the skin."
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He said, "You got liver spot." He took me over to the football stadium in Arnett Gardens football stadium. Showed me this tree, and the tree was there. It was called a neem tree. We never used to mess with it. Nobody touched it. Mosquitoes don't go nowhere near it.
Oh, wow.
He had learned about the neem tree in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
So he told me to pick a couple of the leaves, I picked the whole bark, and he told me just shower with it. I did it for like I'll say about 3 days out of the week. And I didn't even realize the next week, the next Sunday, I went back to football. He literally told me, look, and it was all gone.
so you just use the leaf itself?
I used it in hot water, and I
Right.
literally just hit the skin with it. And within a week, it was gone. It was gone. The bitterwood,
I
That
haven't
was Sir
tried that.
Lancelot
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence. That was Sir Lancelot Lawrence, my uncle. Bless his soul. He's passed on as well
Mm-hmm.
towards the ancestors. Then I got this friend in Jamaica now, a singer guy, Trevor Byfield. Trevor Byfield, he was working on some building in Jamaica, and he fell through the roof. The roof was full of asbestos.
Ooh.
Asbestos got into his lungs, and he was aging. It was aging on a daily, like just getting gray and sick and ill, and he was at the hospital. Now he's a practicing Rastafarian.
Mm-hmm.
So in his vision, what he saw was, he said Haile Selassie came to him in his vision, brought something to him, gave it to him, and he asked what it was. He literally said, Haile Selassie said it was bitterwood. This man
Wow.
got out of his bed, went home, got up out of his house, stood outside at the gate early in the morning, just getting some fresh air, whatever he said he was doing. And a friend came by on a bicycle, and he stopped him. And he asked the friend, what was he selling? He was selling juices. You know, they got the.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he asked him what he was saying, and you would not believe. He said the friend told him he's selling bitterwood juice. Bitterwood
Oh,
juice.
wow. His vision was
He
real.
literally,
Mm-hmm.
he literally got the bitterwood and started using it, and the aging process stopped, the grain stopped. He got better, and I think his sister's using it right now with certain clients that she deals with in Jamaica right now.
So the bitterwood, what is it mostly known for, other than so I can turn into Benjamin Buttons? I'll start looking 20 again, are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
saying?
The bitterwood is mainly known for it's anti tumorous, so it's good for
Ah,
they literally use it in Jamaica. A lot of people say for upset stomach, or if you get food poisoning and stuff like that.
that's
But
something
it's
I
got
used to
so
have in my house at all times, because I always got like the IBS and da 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 da. So that would be bitterwood. Okay.
the bark.
I got some
The
yellow
bark.
dock 2 days ago, and I have the burdock and I mix a dandelion. I like my herbs. I'm into my herbs actually.
Yeah, man,
Hmm.
and they all play their role. I tell people
Hmm.
the body, the herb, the body's got everything in it. All it needs is the fuel, and the fuel is from the herbs.
Hmm. Okay, continue.
Mhm.
So
So
that was the beginning of the journey of you, like you said, you washed yourself with the leaves, and then carry on from there.
yeah, from with the leaves, and then that showed me the power with the neem itself. After
Okay.
I told you about the bitterwood, I came back to the UK and everything else, and I started researching
Hmm.
about these two
Hmm.
herbs. As I researched about the neem, I just run into a study from the University of California. They just done a study on it, and they call it the super tree
Oh, wow.
because of all the nutritious benefits that it had. It's literally, I can read
I
out a
have
whole
you.
bunch of it right here. It's anti-parasitic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, it's anti-aging.
Wow.
anti-venom. So it's absolutely crazy. They've been using it for leprosy, eye disorder, blood pressure, worms, loss of appetite, skin ulcers, heart disease, lung disease, liver disease. They've been using the
Is
neem for,
it bitter? Because I've got a bag. I haven't even drank it.
it's
But I
very
remember
sweet.
back in the day, I'm sure I tried it, and it was very, 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 very like, oh my God. You gotta be, it's not for the faint-hearted, guys, that's for sure.
It's better than the Cersei. So looking at
Really? Oh wow, okay.
looking into that, it's got some little tiny fruits on it. And when you bite into the
Mm,
fruit, it's the sweetest fruit you'll ever, it's one of the sweetest fruits you'll ever taste. It's that small. But when you
wow.
get to the middle, when you get to the core of it, it's bitter like nobody's business.
So with herbs like neem, you know, like you're gonna, you know, you have herbs that are recommended for a certain occasion, for a certain condition. Then you have those herbs that you would just drink generally to maintain the body, like you would you know, a car, should I say, the MOT of the car. So with neem, would you recommend that to be drank as a, let's say, once a week or general tonic drink, or was that something for a specific occasion, for a specific prognosis?
With the neem, I say you can have a cup of it every single day.
Just like soursop then.
Just like the soursop leaf,
Hmm.
they carry different nutrient benefits, but all of it is the body. Once the body gets the proper minerals, the material which it gets from the
Okay.
herbs, then that's where the whole amino acid compound and all the things join, and it sends the messages to every single place in the body. The lymph nodes, the lymph nodes are like the soldiers in the body.
Hmm.
Everything that passes through that mouth, the lymph nodes take a sample of it, and it literally lets the rest of the soldiers know there's either something good coming down here we ain't had for time, get your body ready, or there's something bad coming down here, get your body ready.
Oh,
Either way.
wow.
So
Okay.
just learning them on a certain level with the neem, I say, for me, from my knowledge of it, it depends on what certain illnesses are.
Yeah, that's what I
All
meant.
praises to the
Okay.
Most High, the Mother and Father of all things, for blessing me with that knowledge to then be able to tell people the dosage to drink it.
Okay. So we're still on the part where I'm zoomed in on, you know, the initial inspiration behind your journey. And you said it was about starting with, you know, having the rash yourself and being recommended by a family member. Where did you leap to after? Like, what was the process from thinking, okay, you know what? After that, then thinking, I actually want to go into herbalism and naturalistic and you know, all that good stuff. What was the process for you after that point? What happened
Well, like,
next?
like most people, it's usually something personal. I went
Ah,
through
okay.
personal health battle myself. I don't know where it came from. It was
Mm-hmm.
during that time in Jamaica when they said chikungunya or something was
Guinea, okay.
ravishing through the country. There's something called chikungunya that was ravishing through the country. Now, what I found out was it's like there was weakening people's immune system with all the spraying that they were doing with the mosquitoes.
Ah.
People literally come into the neighborhoods, and they come into the poorer neighborhoods, and they spray it with all type of bacteria, saying they're trying to kill the mosquitoes, but it was
Hmm.
engulfing people's respiratory system.
Was that a part of the plan?
Well, for everything we
Oh.
know, we can
Mm-hmm.
put the dots together now, obviously, because they'll literally come in there, and the people that are spraying it, they got their
Wow.
gas mask, they got their oxygen mask on, well covered up. So they must know that this thing here
Oh.
is to the human body. For
So
you to want to
they're
mix
protected, but
yourself up,
everyone else
you're
isn't so clearly. Okay. Wow.
so I could go back and see where the immune system got weakened and everything else. I felt weak down there, couldn't walk, I was crawling to the toilet, everything else. And the
Wow.
light bulb came on. The light bulb came on. You send these voices, or you send these messages out to whoever you think the creator or the most high of this world is. And it was like the voice came back like, you already got the ingredients already. And what I did right
Mm.
away, it clicked to me, what ingredients is it? Okay. And I focused and found, oh, my uncle told me about the neem. Okay. My virgin told me about the bitterwood. Let me mix both of them.
It's
And I boiled both of them that night, from going from someone crawling to the toilet just to take a pee. Drunk it. I'm talking about my brothers, my dad, they looked at me, and I don't know if I saw death in their eyes or whatever it was.
wow.
That
Mm-hmm.
back. Got the stuff, boiled it that night. I had about 3, 4 big cups of it.
Did
You
that,
would
did you,
not
was you
believe
living in the toilet the whole night? Was it one of those ones? Oh,
it.
Lord.
You know it. You would not
Does it
believe.
make, was your belly, sometimes these like herbs makes your stomach cramp up before it gets better. Like, did you have the cramps before that?
Yes, and that from everything I found out. Now I have to explain to people sometime when they drink the
Can't
body
take
massage.
that.
It's
Hmm.
literally it's the waste. It's the waste.
Yeah. Breaking down, yeah, the
Yes, and it's
breakdown.
coming off the walls of the esophagus and everything else. And when it falls into the stomach,
Ooh.
the acid breaks it down, and the enzyme-rich juices from the pancreas, the gallbladder, the liver, they work in and they break. So you literally, after that poop, you would not believe who was sitting on what they call the porch, or we call it the veranda, chilling the next morning. My
You.
brother came
Mm.
around, looked at me, and it's like he could not believe what he was looking at. I literally
Wow.
felt his energy like, no way.
Wow. So with that being said, this particular part here, are you all for colonic cleanse, like the whole colon cleanse? I mean, you can do from the inside, as we know, as well as external, but are you for the whole external? Because I'm thinking of
I'm
going to get one. I think it'll be good.
not I don't aspire too much to the intimate thing. From the information I've got,
Mm-hmm.
I see it works. It works for some people. I
Mm-hmm.
in a stand about messing with the cells, the neurons, electrons that
Mm-hmm.
passes from there, and it does activate and it will release. I do get the knowledge of it.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I try to stay as natural as possible. So
Yeah,
how I
absolutely. From the
my
inside out. Yeah.
ah,
Mm-hmm.
just how you poison yourself through the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
self through that mouth once you got the
Yeah.
proper things.
I think there are people that has done it for purely trying to, obviously losing weight. So having a fast forward version. There are people that, yeah, I think both has its benefits, but of course from the inside out is always going to be more prominent. All right. So in
Love
regards to
making it.
that's how you, okay, that's your personal experience of how it inspired you then from that relief to think then, okay, have you studied, obviously you're going to do your basic studies, but are you certified in anything at all? Was it just the Dr. Sebi
all
knowledge,
self,
so to speak?
all self-taught,
Mm-hmm.
finding the books, going through the same medical books that these people been using and everything
Mm-hmm.
else, and then not just being indoctrinated by that. For what
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
learned, most of what I got came spiritually.
Ah. So you
Most of what
received those intuitive
the
downloads.
downloads,
Okay.
came, and then
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, the way it's been, because the way it's been, I tell people it's like I went on an Enoch journey.
Mm.
Who the universal God is, the ancestors, whatever it is that people claiming it. I was taken on this journey and told I was going to be shown some things, and I'll know when to apply it. Coming up
Mm-hmm.
to, coming up to when I started with the Body Messiah around 2008, such and such. It was, we're in a war, and we cannot have sick warriors out here. Take this to the people. That's when I started boiling the neem, the bitterwood, and by then I had ran into that super vitamin called vitamin B17. When I,
Mm.
and
17. Okay.
vitamin B17 that's going extinct to the body,
Mm-hmm.
going extinct to the body. So I brought the knowledge back of that. It was that was sent to me from a Dr. Beard from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. He
Wow.
done a he done a 1905 research on something called the trophoblastic thesis of cancer. And he realized, and one of the nuggets I'm going to be dropping on here today is for the women.
Mm.
Trophoblastic thesis of cancer shows that trophoblast is this protein buildup that develops when a woman gets impregnated, and it acts as the covering for the sac that the baby goes and
Mm.
sits in. What you're finding now, trophoblast is also the compound that they see and diagnose people with cancer.
Okay.
So there's a lot of females out there that's in the first stages of pregnancy, in the early stages of pregnancy, that these people are classing to have ovary cancer or cancer in the womb or something like
Mm.
that.
Unbeknownst
They,
to them.
they
Mm-hmm.
need to get a second opinion. They need to get a second opinion.
Wow. Thinking about okay, you have prognoses like, diabetes and arthritis. and then you have the STDs. But let's start with the diabetes and the arthritis. Is there anything from your expertise that you could recommend? For example, my mom's constantly dealing with the arthritis. She's tried different things. She's had multiple knee replacements and, you know, the, what do you call it, tuple canal and all sorts of things with the what would you recommend, for an example? Because as you know, not everything, guys, disclaimer, being a typical, okay, that's what I want to see in a minute, your brand, yeah? Okay, give me one moment. I love it. Okay, good. All right. As people of color, we
Mm-hmm.
tend to rub everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you can relate to that. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
what we do. Every little thing, you just get the ointment and you rub, rub, rub. And I'm not saying we shouldn't rub, but there are some things that when you rub, it makes it worse. There's special things like fluid inflammation.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've experienced it. My dad's like, rub it, rub it. And I'm like, Dad, it's a bad idea. And I'm rubbing it, and the fluid has moved to another part of my foot at the time, years back. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why, disclaimer, I don't think everything we have to be rubbing as opposed to taking what you're suggesting. So show us, once again, your brand. Tell us what's in
I
it, everything
I've
that's in
heard
it, ingredients wise, if you can, or elements of it.
that's the Body Messiah drink. That's the
Mm-hmm.
2 liters. There in the shop, they're £50, and they walk out the shop because people know that this thing is real. If it's just the
These are 50, did you
diabetes,
say? Yeah.
huh?
Did you say they're £50? Did you just say?
No, fifty
Okay.
pound 2 liters. They're in all the shops. I'll give
Okay.
you most of them before
Yeah,
we get
yeah.
off. So this has got all three of those ingredients, and those are the three super ingredients that I think covers as much as the nutrient benefits that the body needs for the day. There's people, if I could just sell it for weight loss, I can do it for that. There's people that drink it, and I can tell you for myself, it's like everything that we eat. This is how the digestive system works, and I like keeping it as simple as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
The digestive system takes everything that we eat, takes it through the mouth, softens it with the saliva, everything else. The esophagus does peristalsis and pushes it down into the stomach. The stomach then starts spewing the acid on it. The pancreas, the gallbladder, the liver, they develop the enzyme-rich juices that break it down, bile, and when it gets to the small intestine, it literally, all the body does is takes the nutrients out of everything that's digested through
Mm.
the stomach and puts it back into our bloodstream as liquid molecules. That's simple. That's all it does. Liquid molecules of the nutrients get put back into the bloodstream. So we're literally eating to supply the bloodstream. The
Mm-hmm.
blood, I tell people, is the life of the body.
Knowledge is
It feeds
power.
every organ,
Mm-hmm.
every tissue, every muscle. Now the blood, we get new blood every 90 days. Every 3 months, every cell of the blood goes from its DNA to its RNA back to its original form. If
Okay.
we're putting the right things in it, there is no aging. There is no getting old. We age, but there is no getting old.
I
After,
understand that internally. So go back just a step for me. So in terms of like diabetes, as an example, which I gave a moment ago, and arthritis, your particular do you do different ranges of, would you call it a tonic, or is it just one basic tonic that you do that is
yeah, it's a
covered that, tell us about, do you have multiple different ones for different diagnoses,
yeah.
or is it just,
We have different sizes. What I do different concoctions together.
that's what I meant, yeah.
Depending if you got people like with the big C, what they call cancer,
Hmm.
there's certain there's like one different ingredient depending on what stage they are. I'll
Hmm.
use, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
as far as this, for me to be calling it the body messiah, is because it
Mhm.
does all of those things. 90 something percent of all the ailments that we have is mucus related.
Yes, absolutely. That I know.
This
I've been
mud,
actually taking different herbs that actually helps bring it up. When I was very sick in December, just the wickedest flu that I've ever had in my life. Didn't even seem like a regular flu. I'm telling you, it was terrible. And West London had nothing. Yeah, I had to go up south to the two different herb shops, concoct whatever I concoct. Also got, I think is it called Mulan?
mulan,
Mulan, yeah, the lung cleanser,
mullet,
and it made a massive, guys, I'm telling you, Mulan
clear the
roots
body of
made a
everything
massive difference. Like
whatsoever.
I was very heavy chested. Within less than even an hour, I felt the difference. My chest felt lighter from the Mulan.
And it's grown out in the wild. The mullein, it's so common
Hmm.
in these countries. So for this, with the three super herbs that's in it, the neem, the bitterwood, and the vitamin B17, I can honestly say, and let me say thank you to all the people out there in the community. The love that I've been
Wow.
receiving is just absolute. Listen, I wake up to call sometime that just gets me up and
Wow.
running.
That's
The
amazing.
thank you. The prostate cancer tumor in the bladders. Doctors are saying they've disappeared. People
And this is
seeing better
through your works.
just through the drink and the power of the Most High that's blessed me to just be
Mm-hmm.
I'm the carrier of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just the vehicle bringing it to the
You're the
people.
best.
So
Okay.
diabetes,
Before we go to
what I find
comments,
out,
which we're going to do in a moment, let me touch
let me
on the
take you on
last.
the diabetes,
Sorry, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
on the diabetes and
Mm-hmm.
the joint issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I find the pancreas, it's straight to the pancreas. The
Mm-hmm.
pancreas is what produces the insulin and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's keep the pancreas clean. We find out with the dead foods that we're eating, these foods that have no life in it.
Low
When
vibrational.
there you go. After the digestive system, it doesn't just stops there. Once it takes the nutrients into the bloodstream as liquid molecules, then you got the small intestine, large intestine. That's the colon area. These are there's bacteria living down there that wants to live as well. They have to
Wow.
perform their function, and their function, because just like the cells of the body, we're losing cells. We're losing hundreds of cells right now as we speak, doing this interview, dying and coming back to their original form. The colon, the bacteria in the colon, they die, they go through the RNA process, and they come back to their original self as well. They need the right things. The right things that they need is the stuff from the life food. And
Mm-hmm.
fiber. Fiber is one of the main components that the colon bacteria needs. Fiber is
Mm-hmm.
life food.
Mm-hmm.
Anything growing from the earth and sunlight. So then when it dies and it's coming back to its original self using protein, then it comes back fine. It's when
Mm-hmm.
there is fiber, it's when there is no life in there. Then the buildup of protein, too much protein, then becomes acidic in the
Yes.
colon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get stuff like damaged colon like that.
Okay.
That's a healthy colon. These
Mm-hmm.
colons, what doctors are doing now, they're cutting pieces out from like there and here, and they're patching it back together and stuff like that. This is what's happening with our colon right now. So the live
Mm-hmm.
foods is what the colon needs. So this, and one of the other things, as far as with the pancreas, certain foods are blocking the pancreas from producing the insulin
Absolutely. So
and everything.
absolutely.
So it's about clearing the mucus out of those areas on a cellular level,
Mm-hmm.
and everything starts operating.
What's
With the
your
joint,
thoughts? What's your thoughts on because you know we're learning a lot more about the mucus being, as Dr. Sebi would say, what you just said, the mucus being the main issue. But on the flip side, you also get, you know, very educated practitioners like yourself who say, actually, we need some of that mucus, you know,
we
that,
need
that
it.
has its
We need it.
benefits. So it's almost like sometimes I feel like, especially, you know, us newbies for the last, you know, how many years, I still see myself as very much a newbie on the path of herbs and all that kind of stuff, and incorporating that as a lifestyle, not only when you are sick. Sometimes, you know, you hear that this is bad, you hear this is bad, you know, you're ingesting the wrong limes, it's the wrong avocados, there's so much. I do think there's better that we can have in higher vibrational natural foods, but there's so much, you
So
know, create a mucus.
let me
No,
clear
actually,
that up.
mucus is good for you. Like, what, you know, what's your, you know, what's your thoughts
Let
on
me
that?
clear that. Let me clear that up, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
say it. I think a lot of people, they got Dr. Sebi's wrong. A lot of people was misquoting what he was saying, which I get why they thought that.
Okay.
Now it's not that it's an enemy. It's a friend and it's an enemy.
Mm.
This is where we need the balance. The
Equilibrium,
balance.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So the mucous membrane is in every cell of the body. All 100 trillion plus cells that make up this soup. The mucous membrane is there. What the
Mm-hmm.
mucous membrane is there for, as a friend. And what's happening, we got a lot of people now, 80 something percent of the population, if I'm not wrong, is running around with something called leaky gut.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Ooh,
This is one of the
80% of the
most,
population, did you say?
80 something percent. I'll go through the
Yeah,
research that
let us
they,
know this. I've heard of it. Let's know the symptoms of that, what we can look out for.
yeah. So there's a physician called Dr. Marshall. He got the Nobel
Leaky
Peace
gut.
Prize
Heard about that.
Yeah, Dr. Barry Marshall from Australia in 2005. He received the Nobel Peace Prize. He's a physician, Australian physician. He received the
Mm-hmm.
Nobel Peace Prize for showing people about something called H. pylori.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a lot of dairy stuff, meat, foods, and everything else. And
Do
H.
you ingest
pylori,
dairy, Dee?
no.
Okay.
Do I eat meat?
No, yeah, I was asking if you ingest
No,
dairy
no, no.
or you not. Okay.
No,
Hmm.
no dairy, no dairy. I try to stay with my earth foods as much as
Yeah.
possible. Even
Mm-hmm.
when people say it's gone off, I know there's nutrient benefits still in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the H. pylori, from what he discovered, he studied he did 100 biopsy from the stomach of patients, and he found that most of the inflammation, people suffering from bloating, inflammation, nausea, heartburn, is because of H. pylori. Ulcers, a lot of ulcers is because of
Ulcers,
H.
yeah.
pylori.
Is ulcers
Then
connected to leaky gut as well?
it can
Yeah.
be, and can be, overconsumption of protein with the body once you become
Mm.
an adult. But I tell people, once you become an adult, and we're going to be switching to a lot of things here, and I'll jump back on
No,
the
that's fine.
protein.
We're rolling with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once you become an adult, the body doesn't need all that protein.
Mm-hmm.
The body just needs a little. I think it's half a gram to zero point 0.8 grams a day, and the body is literally flushing off the protein from the body, digesting it, and putting it back in the body because everything is already in there.
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy. Now, what we're doing with the overconsumption of protein is the body's becoming acidic because, like we said, the mucous membrane is a friend and it can be an enemy. So
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
keep gut, as a Dr. Pedre has done on the whole, the gut, the biome, the whole gut biome. These are the walls of the stomach, and they're supposed to be staying tight knit because of the emulsifiers in certain foods that we're eating with pesticides and everything on it. It's loosening,
Absolutely.
it's
Mm-hmm.
loosening the walls of the gut. So when the food goes into the gut, it's sliding through,
Mm-hmm.
going into the bloodstream, and in the blood circulating the body 9 times a minute, warp speed. It will spew that waste every and anywhere.
Oh,
It might
wow.
be on the
Mm.
brain.
Oh,
Once it spews
wow.
on the brain,
Mm-hmm.
the mucous membrane will spray mucus on it to hold it there. It doesn't want it traveling all over the body. This is where you're getting some of your Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. As the
Mm-hmm.
mucus builds up, it starts interfering with the neurons and the electrons of the brain. It might come down,
Wow.
it might be spewed over into the eyes. We have a nasal pathway, I'll get into it more, that runs from the brain past the eyes, the nose, to the back of the throat. If it goes into the heart, the mucous membrane holds it. So as it gets more toxic, this is where it becomes a problem. But it's a friend in the beginning, trying to stop the
Mm-hmm.
waste from going anywhere. So this is where the bitterness, the herbs, this is where the herbs come into play. They soften the mucus,
Mm-hmm.
stick the stuff through the bloodstream, and it literally comes out through any channel of elimination that there is. It might sneeze it out, it might come out in your eyes as whatever it is, those sticky things. You might cough it out, you might poo it out, you might pee it out. And even when you sweat, the sweat glands is pushing out these toxins as well.
So I'm God, I love a steam, and yeah, that's me. I live in the spa. So before we go to the comments, thank you for that. Will you say in regards to, it's a friend as well as an enemy? Is there what herbs, as opposed to only your tonic as well, naturally? What herbs would you recommend, or do you recommend, to help balance out that mucus within?
I tell people go straight to what I call um, the nitrilicide herbs. I'm giving
Mm.
some secrets here today.
Yeah,
The
we want some of those
nitrilicide.
gems, just a couple.
Find the stuff that's nitrilicide, people. The nitrilicide products melts the mucus better than most herbs that I know.
Mm.
There's other herbs that can be used mm, besides the neem, the bitterwood, the vitamin B17, the burdock root's one of them.
Yeah, burdock. Oh, it's so smooth. Actually, I drink it even for pleasure. It's lovely, but it does help my digestive system, and I throw some dandelion in there every now and again.
And that literally rips It takes the waste. It takes the waste.
And it doesn't cramp you up, just a nice blend. But I'm yet to try my yellow dot, which I've got in my kitchen. I've got that on Sunday. As also, the blood cleanser, etc. So I'm trying to educate my little self too,
You're there, man. You're there. Do it. Do it. And you'll find out you have no bongy poo. You ain't going to the
So
toilet and straining the
I need to actually
poo.
start acknowledging that side a bit more and having a little look
Yeah,
around, like what's going on.
it's
Yeah,
it
what color
softens
are
it up.
you? And no, because it apparently as you know, guys, your stools speak volumes. It's good to have a look at your stools and look at the fluidity of the difference of maybe in a week a couple of times what the difference in your stools are, and maybe look at what that may mean for you and your body.
And constipation is a big part. Like I said, like we were saying earlier,
But
eating the dirt.
vitamins causes that a lot. Vitamins,
Yes,
a
you're
lot.
getting over
Iron for
consumption of
one.
vitamin. There you go. Thank you. That's why I tell people I aspire to the earth foods. With the
Mm,
earth foods, the body is designed, it's coded into the DNA to take what it needs, retain what it needs, and eliminate the rest. I find that when we buy these other tablets and supplements and so on and so forth, and I'm watching a lot of people selling these whey supplement dairy. Whey is a dairy byproduct from the waste of the milk. They're putting this in all type of products now, and people are being bunged up. And not because you might be pooing, you're not supposed to be pooing no once every 3 days, at least once a day. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the waist tells you a lot. You don't want to be stringy pooing where you just get that string. That's another sign of constipation. That's saying that the wall.
And even the little tiny stools, big time
Yeah,
constipation.
it's
But
that
before
wall.
we exercise that part a little bit more, let me touch on the last example I wanted to give. That you touched on the C, the big C. We touched on the arthritis and a bit of the diabetes. What about general, maybe like STDs? Those infections. Is there anything that you would? I mean, guys, with these suggestions, disclaimer that we are speaking about, okay, that we are speaking about, by no means am I on this live saying that you mustn't go to the doctor, the hospital, and get yourself treated. By no means am I saying that. However, you may choose to get your diagnosis, hold on to that, westernized tablet, keep it in your medicine cupboard, but then go and check D out for an alternative and see how that works. Because we are, and I spoke to our mutual friend yesterday, and I was saying how quick we are to take on board everything Western, not even question what the doctor's giving you, but I'm going to question what's in these products. I want to know, because that's we've been nurtured that way to distrusting everything they give us.
Yep, and we call it the white coat syndrome. If you don't come with the white coat and you haven't been indoctrinated, and this is what's going on. Those people have been indoctrinated for years, going off these same studies and these same books.
Yeah.
They've had to pay money to read. Somebody owns those books. Somebody has
absolutely
a right on those books. Go check out the Rockefeller and what they did with the medical establishment over the years. Now, what we're saying is, I'll rather trust somebody that's out there in the field, and that's where I've been, out there in the field, like a Dr. Sabi and Africa and most of the great ones. We have to go to nature first. Most and if not all of what they have made, most of those medications that they've put together has been designed from something in nature. What they've now done is it's become synthetic.
Yeah.
So that in itself hasn't got no life in it.
Absolutely.
So
I'm in a beautiful state of existence where I say there's truth and bull crap in everything and everyone, which means I could actually sit down and acknowledge a westernized doctor. Because let's be frank, no matter what we say, this is the truth, guys. No matter what we say, if something happened today or tomorrow, God forbid, we're still going to run to the doctors around the corner. So I'm saying my balance is acknowledging both worlds and then filtering and doing what works for me. That's just where I'm at with everything.
There you go. There we go.
I was asking about STDs, for an example, those transmitted diseases. You recommend what is in that tonic that will help, what are we saying, cure it, ease it? What are we saying?
The body messiah, the neem itself is one of the nitrilicide products. The vitamin B17 is another nitrilicide product. Most of these STDs, people might not be able to see it. This is what's happening inside. It's a of inflammation and parasites.
So whether
Simple.
it's the chlamydia, whether it's the gonorrhea, and even actually with those things that are eradicated by medication, things like, as you know, the HIVs or maybe even herpes, or people might have a coleslaw, not, whatever it is. Are you saying things like that juice can heal it permanently, or is it just ease the symptoms? What are we saying?
Clear it, and the body eliminates it all and brings you back to homeostasis, where the body's back in balance, back in tune, and your organs will start in the right tunes
Are
again.
you saying then that tonic can cure HIV and AIDS? Or we're not going that far?
The tonic aids the body.
AIDS, right, exactly, all right? I need to be disclaimer here.
For the body to eliminate any fungus, mold, agent that's in the body. What we say is, and I'm sure you probably heard the phrase, an alkaline body cannot have any goddamn disease in it.
Oh yeah, you sound like Mr. Sebi now. I think he would enjoy speaking to you.
Love the king.
Show us that bottle again. Can you tell me, for example, if I was to purchase that bottle, how much, like, would it be a cap a day? What was the recommendational dose that you recommend? It's not like just down it. So what would you recommend?
If you're doing just a regular cleanse, on a regular ingredients is on there, I tell people do a 7-ounce cup, which is equivalent to one of those disposable plastic cups. 7 ounces, that full first thing in the morning. It stinks and it's bitter.
On an empty stomach, would you say, or after some...
Empty stomach. First thing in the morning, before you put any food in your mouth, before you brush your teeth, go straight into the bloodstream. So it's literally preparing you for the day, for any agents or anything that's supposed to be coming in. And every day after that first day of the 7 ounces, you're doing 3.5 ounces in the morning, 3.5 ounces at night, which is equivalent to like a mouthful, half of the 7-ounce cup. First thing in the morning.
So would someone take that for whatever, disease they're taking it for? Would they consume that till the bottle's finished? Was it just when, if and when? Okay.
Yeah. And I tell people, do a 3-month cleanse. If you're doing a cleanse, do a 3-month cleanse. Like I said earlier.
Okay.
Every 3 months, we get new blood cells. That's all the cells dying and coming back to their original form.
Okay.
Every 8 to 9 months, we get new organs, people. The doctors are not telling you these things. Every 8 to 9 months, we get new organs. Every 2 years, we get a new skeleton structure. That's the cells of the skeleton, the bones, all dying out and coming back to their original form. So we can literally heal every and anything once you got blood running through your veins. And don't let them take out any organs. Every single thing that's in us is there for a reason. It's performing a function, all working symbiotically with each other just to keep this
it's the body synergy, of course.
True.
Well, take a breather or have a sip on something or light something while I go to the comments. Yeah, whatever tickles your fancy, go do that. Okay, right. Let me go to the comments. Hi guys, are you enjoying this live so far? It's really informative. It's a whole vibe. Can I find these comments? They tend to escape me. Where are you? Why can't I bring them up? Here we go. Let me see. Let me go back to the TOP. Before I even read anyone's comments, big shout out to Sister Maria, as she's the one that, was the vessel of the connect. Yeah. So shout out to beautiful Maria for that, yeah, and for supporting my lives in general. I appreciate you. Okay, so greetings to you. All right, I'm gonna send some waves and I'm gonna go down. Hey Ava, how you doing, girl? Yeah. Cosmic says hi Dee. Yeah, let's have a look. Oops, where are you? So I know Maria says whip it D. I'm not sure what she was relating to. Sometimes it happens as we go past, and the moment when comments come, it's like reconnecting what you were relating to. But the reason why I don't look at comments every moment, unless I'm having a general chit chat with Sylvan and I'm all involved, is because it becomes disruptive as well, as opposed to the flow. Hey girl, hey Ava. Let me see. Official, what about people with kidney disease, kidney dialysis patients? What's your thoughts on that? Dee?
The kidney dialysis, come and get the body Messiah. Come and get the body
Mm-hmm.
Messiah. It clean it out, flush it out. And like I say, the cells of the body are rejuvenating and coming back to their original form every day. All they need is the right things. They've got people on dialysis machine. And what
Mm-hmm.
they literally do is take people's blood and they take the life out the blood. And
Mm-hmm.
the dead blood, knowing that we have everything in us, we're going to start putting back the life in it. But most people are not eating right.
Yes,
And
yes,
this is where
yes,
they get affected.
yes. Absolutely. Okay. And official also says, yes, I'm basically fully enjoying the information and give thanks back to you also, Maria. Okay. Good evening to you. Gratitude. Let me send a wave. Let's go down on the comments. Let me see. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See how to sit back? Sister Maria says that we need the body Messiah massage oil. See, that's when you start my senses. But let me tell. What did I tell you about the name Body Messiah? What are
She knows it's
what
coming.
did
I
I
think
say to you
I
though?
told her about the oil. I told her about the cream
See,
that's
but I
coming.
didn't even know about the oil. But you see what I've said to you, like it's a natural transition. Yeah, that sounds good. That does sound good. Yeah. What? So
Especially for
answer the
me,
question,
especially
brother.
for
What about
cancer.
the Body Messiah
It's
massage
on its
oil?
way. It's on its way.
That sounds
I'm waiting for
interests
that
me.
download. For now, it will just work in a natural way where for tantric
Mm-hmm.
healing, it does the business. What I'm trying to get it
Oh,
to the
traffic,
point,
I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Mm-hmm.
I want the scars where we're using it now. The scars are disappearing, but then they're coming back. I want it gone.
Okay.
I want it gone. I want it gone.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the eye product, just like with the Body Messiah eye.
Look, that I
We're
want to talk
using it.
about in a moment after the comments. I have that right near you. We're going to explore all of
Okay.
that. Absolutely. Absolutely. XWE says dropping some gold nuggets on us, D. Grateful. Yeah.
Mm. Much love,
Mm-hmm.
much love.
Yeah. Nicola said learning something. Okay. That's what I love. This is what it's all about. Yeah. Peace and blessings to Gems. Let me see. Okay, let me find the rest of the comments. Hang on a minute. I'm just trying to wave back to those who's sent comments also. Let me see. Okay, so Maria also said she was talking to a record producer who is also on kidney dialysis. Okay.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, man, we had a basketballer in the States because it's in the States as well. There's a young basketball in the States. They had him on the kidney dialysis. They told him he probably wouldn't be able to play basketball again.
mhm.
I think after 2 weeks of drinking the bottle,
Oh,
my
wow.
cousin was shocked to see this guy back on the basketball court doing his thing.
Wow.
He'll swear by it. So we got it over there. There's an outlet in Long Island, and it was launched in Queens, New York. So a lot of people in Queens kind of like know about it already. We're spreading it over between Bronx and Brooklyn now, and just getting it to the people. Just getting it to the people.
Wow. Okay. So Sarah says, evening guys, I love hearing the topic of this conversation. And then you are correct in regards to the Rockefellers. Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Medicine of profit when we should actually be having a balance of naturopathic medicine. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let me just go down. What about people? No, I think I've read that. The comments does this, and when I press it,
It comes
I
back
don't know
up.
if you've experienced that, or you can press it and it just disappears. So I'm always trying to be gentle with it, and I see sometimes half a message if it's quite long. All right, I think that's pretty much it, unless you can see more on your side and I'm not seeing it. Nicola says, this is a very interesting topic. Love it. Yeah. And yeah, a wealth of knowledge. I've so use these products. Okay, and they're amazing. Okay. Wealth of knowledge. I've used these products and it's amazing, says Naz. Naz? Nads
Nads. Ah,
53.
rise
Yeah.
up, Everett. Rise up, rise up, rise up.
And someone else is asking, Afri asked where to buy in the States. Can you
In the
answer that? I
States.
mean, are you distributing?
Yeah, the one distributor out there now. it should be the Rocking Queens, but I don't think they've got it. I'm waiting for the guy to get back from Liberia. So for now, they can call for the States.
Mm-hmm.
They call 631-620-9292. That will lead them on to the distributor over there. I think her name's Nikki, and she's distributing it straight from Long Island.
Okay.
So they can get the drink and the eye product over there as well.
Okay, what I'm gonna do, guys, when I download this live at the end of this talk, I always attach all the details on the promo, on the going live post, as well as this particular live, that all the information. So you'll be able to go straight to Dee's page and inbox him and have this conversation and allow him to guide you through the healing process. Let's get into the eye drops.
Oh yeah.
Let's get into the eye drops. Yeah. Did you see my comment? I saw your post on Facebook, and the guy was like, and I was like, really? Yeah, really?
I know a lot of people.
Sister Maria says, I use the eye drop, Silver, and
Really?
it looked clearer when I was watching the television. So if Sister
Yeah.
Maria says that, then didn't land. Reputable source. Yeah.
For me, I was running through the barbershops and going to different houses while I was getting it to people, and I didn't have that much problem. There was stuff going on because you know what I'm saying? There's all type of elements that they spraying on us and everything else with the eyes. Now, after running into the knowledge about what the mobile phones, the laptops, the computers, the smart tellies and everything else, they're all emitting this Blu-ray light. And that Blu-ray light is affecting our eyes on a cellular level. Not to mention these fluorescent bulbs that they got given us. They was giving them free and all the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
These are affecting the eyes, and we know these people don't give away nothing.
No, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And what else have I noticed? Opticians are popping up every goddamn where. You're finding an optician now, just like you're finding a liquor store on every block.
That's from a long time still, but also I think the cataracts and those who have a lot of that.
That's the mucus. That's the mucus buildup. So how I explain it to people with the eyes, when we sleep, every night when we sleep, there's repairing enzymes in the blood that pushes all the oil, the grease, the toxins up to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And comes to what we call the nasal pathway that leads from the brain past the eyes to the nose, the back of the throat, and we're supposed to be sneezing it out. That's what we sneeze out in the morning, called kata.
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's not coming out. Some of it's staying on the brain. Okay. This is why you find the elders over a period of time start developing the Alzheimer's, the dementia, the Parkinson's. The mucous membrane again comes into play, holds it there because it's been there. They don't want it spread anywhere. It's not coming out the nasal pathway, and then that starts interfering with the neurons and the electrons. There's people taking the eye product, sprayed it in their eye, dripped it in their eyes, and they realized they had sinus problems, and they realized the sinus is clearing up because it's literally unblocking the mucus coming down through the nasal pathway. And that's from the foods that we're eating again, people. The dead foods, the cheese, the pasta, the pizza. I know we're Caribbean and African.
I do like
whatever.
A little bit of pasta every now and again.
I
had some of it this week. I mean, I do think in some cases it's everything in moderation, and there's some cases where I'm like, no, that just has to go totally. You know, but it's all a work in process. I think someone left you another comment. Was they asking about? Let's have a look. Yes, giving the free light bulbs. Okay, and phone's giving me eyesight issues. Okay, yes, the phone. Do you find that your eyes actually go blurry after a while, whether you're on a computer or something or laptop? That can happen.
It starts dimming and starts dimming.
And then Nicola says, let's go. Where's your comment gone? Something about her products. Let me try and find that comment. It's disappeared. Hang on, let's go back. Okay, so Brown says, I need a bottle, brother, ASAP. If you don't have his links already, I'm going to add it on this post when I download the live. Let me see. And XWE says, the eye drops product is amazing now. I don't need surgery. Really?
Yeah.
To tell you why that would be amazing, because I've got stigmatism. It's not like other eyes. It's not like short-sighted or long-sighted. I've got stigmatism. My eyes are oval, not round. So that is a whole different case. Yeah. So I may have to challenge you on that
I've got
one.
I've
Yeah.
got two people
I've
with
been
the
reading
same
glasses from
symptom.
3, although I don't really read them a lot than I should. This is reading glasses. This is like, you heard of 20/20 vision. It's like 100 vision. Yeah.
I've
But
got two people with the same symptoms, and they get the protruding eye,
stigmatism. Yeah.
and it protrudes.
Okay.
Yeah, wrong shape.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I
Thank
can't
you for
wait for you
that.
to try it. I can't
Miracle
wait to get it to
product.
you.
Okay. Maria says, D, show the eye drops. Yeah. Just getting on to you there. Yeah.
Put
Good
it between your eye.
branding.
Put it between your eye.
I'm sure Nicola said something about her brand here. Ask, let me see. Okay, have to try my, okay, your bro's product. And did you say, can I something the hashtag? Can you work that out, D? Can I, looks like lollipop, the hashtag. What is that? What's that?
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing. I'm seeing bigger.
Nicola says, can you lollipop, the hashtag? Am I missing something here? Text talk, am I missing something?
I'm not trying to see.
It's got a red lollipop. Can you something lollipop hashtag? I don't know. I'm getting old. Break it down.
I'm old school as well, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen. I haven't seen. I can't see that message.
Yeah, see, it's hot. You got the message is a bit like, okay, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so as we wind down the live, as much as
Mhm.
we'd like to keep you, I'd like to keep you for another half an hour, but you don't give me restrictions that, this guy real busy. Okay. Yeah.
Got some people waiting on me, texting me now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Texting me
Yeah.
now.
Exactly. So be doing to be busy out here. So you showed us your eye,
Hi.
your tonics, and then you've got
Yeah.
your eye drops. Do you want to talk to us a bit about, in your own words, about your eye drops and what that is? How did you even come up with that idea?
Did that again, and I tell
Was that was
people,
that was that your download or your ancestors giving you the guidance? Yeah.
you go. So I'm seeing what's going on. I'm noticing there's a lot of people with eye problems. I noticed minds were starting to get a bit blurry as far as reading the road
Mm.
signs and looking at certain license plates from a certain distance. I'm thinking, something's going on. I'm a weed head, herb head.
You hmm,
I'm a
you
herb
may
head.
want
I
to put
haven't
down
touched
on
it
that
for
bit.
3 months now. It's been 3 months. I haven't touched it for 3 months because I've been to.
Really? Oh, well, that's good. So you get to know yourself now on the other side, away from it. Okay, it's a whole other conversation, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I got that download about what is it I can better self within this new Aquarian age, if you want to look at it like that, blah, 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 with everything that's coming and all the rest of it. And I thought, smoking. Well, I preach to people that the smoke does
But
the
you can
same
always
thing.
boil it. If I'm fine, let me just say this real quick, guys.
Thank you,
I
which is how
am
it's supposed to
the,
be done.
I'll just say this real quick and I'll let Deacon close the live. Um, I am the original XXXX Ganja Baby. Yeah, do you hear me? The original Ganja Baby. People like you, yes. Yeah. From the minute I left home, I was doing my thing, okay? But people, even the most respectable Rastas, I always say, whatever, no matter what, if you're smoking it, no form of smoke's going to be good for you.
None,
I
none.
don't care how much people want to give me. No, you can't challenge that. No form of smoke is going to be good for you. But if you're boiling it like the old school mamas, the granddads, boiling the herb, it's a different way of ingesting it.
Yeah, definitely.
See? Do you want to second that
Once
or
you
give
light it,
your?
I concur, I concur, I concur.
Yeah, you can boil
Once
the
you light
herbs.
it,
You can boil the herbs. Maybe some
once you
people
light
even,
it,
apparently some people even get the herbs and they might even just, they do also, meditation or whatever they want to do with the herbs. But yeah, boiling the herbs is very different. I mean, I've never boiled it myself, but
oh, well,
and
that's
I
all
have,
I've been doing to it. That's all
mhm.
I've been doing now, boiling it. Once you light it, it turns to another chemical. Now,
Ah,
there are studies, to be honest, there are studies like the study from a Dr. Hera. He done the study between the herb in the Caribbean, Colombia, and Puerto Rico.
mhm.
He found out that even within the smoke, you can get certain nutrients out of it.
Okay, so let me
Once you
let me
light
ask
it,
you this:
mhm,
what are they rolling it into smoke?
what are you rolling? That's another thing. So if you're
This is
putting
what
it
I'm saying. It's like, what are you
in,
rolling it in?
hmm
Again, I said to a Rastafarian brother, have your X-ray. If your lungs is clear and you can show me the X-ray, then I will take back all my talk. No matter what, I don't care whether you get the herb from the bush deep in Africa. If you're rolling it in, whatever you're rolling it in, even if it's an ital, straight ital herbs, yeah, with no
and I
blend
know,
of
I just go
tobacco,
on about
what are you rolling it in?
whatever it is that you're rolling it in, once you light it, it turns to a
It's
different
a wrap.
chemical
Yeah.
and it's negative for the body. The
Mm-hmm.
natural herbal way is to boil it and drink it. So let it go through that boiling process. Heat lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to soak, where the two main ingredients in there is one of them, the endocannabinoids and the THC,
Mm-hmm.
tetrahydrocannabinoids. The doctors ain't telling people this. Now what they've done, they've legalized weed. They've given it that name. It's a legal word,
Mm-hmm.
because what they've done, they found the chemical makeup for it. So all these countries that you see legalizing weed now, it's absolute poison to the body.
Okay.
They've taken out one of the most main ingredient in there, which is called the endocannabinoid.
Mm-hmm.
When you check, and this is where we was cultivated, we was being cultured with negativity about
Yeah.
the weed, and it make you mad and all these things. Never been proven anywhere medically on this planet. Once you can drink it as a herb, like a tea, the body itself have something called cannabinoid cells all over it.
Can I ask you, when you drink it as a tea, do you still have that wave? Do you still feel like you're buzzing?
It's not a buzz, but you feel that ethereal feeling.
You're on
You
a
feel
wave.
like calming.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like calming, because that's what the endocannabinoid does. It relaxes muscles. It makes the
Mm-hmm.
messages transfer quicker
Let
to
me
what
ask
we
you
call
something. You
from the
touched on
pioneer.
no proof of. Did you say? Let me just double check. You said no proof of people having like effects on their mental health. Did you say that? I would say to you that I would have to definitely challenge that, because
Yeah, I know
there's been
people.
people, young people, that has had
Mhm,
experiences connected to that. When I stopped smoking for the third time in my entire life. Yeah. When I
mhm.
stopped smoking, I started tripping.
Yeah. Now
But
I'll say
obviously, and I was
that
like,
would
why do
be
I feel like I was getting just really weird. I had a really weird experience for about
it would
three
be
months,
it
and
would be it would be a joining of chemicals. So it will be from the endocannabinoids or the smoke, the toxins from the smoke,
mhm.
that's mixed with something else. And
That as well, but
that's if you're
also,
drinking it. If you're drinking it, it won't
yeah,
happen.
perhaps like I've never tried it, so that will be, yeah. I
The
think what it
smoking, the
is,
kindness of
guys,
the
from what I understand, and this makes a lot of sense to me as well. When a professional said it's like people that excessively drink coffee, yeah,
mm-hmm,
and relate that to smoking, the
mm-hmm.
herbs. Once you stop it, and how you stopped, was it immediately stopped, or did you gradually stop? 'Cause I always cut things straight, okay? Sometimes for some people, mental health has been hiding behind that. So once they've stopped, things come to the surface.
It's like when you're healing
That's
the
for
body, you're
some
right.
people, for some
Mm-hmm,
people. But with me, it was a case of I stopped twice before just like that. And I took for granted that I could the third time. But as you
mm-hmm.
get sometimes older, or your reasons for starting in the first place, you take for granted that you once was able to do. So what I should have done was just being gradual. So it kind of, I think my body went into shock. That's all it really was. So I was tripping, literally.
And what we call tripping, guess what? Just like what we call sick.
Okay,
I
tripping.
don't
Let me
ascribe to those
not be
words.
so extreme. Then let me actually
No,
explain what I
that's
mean.
fine. That's
I
fine. Tripping.
felt
Say tripping.
paro. I felt paro. I actually
Paranoid.
felt.
Yeah.
I felt like when
Guess
I
what that
stopped
was?
smoking, I felt like I was smoking. It was that feeling, very
That's
clouded.
And I tell people that tripping paranoia feeling that we get in, just like when we're
Mm-hmm.
ill, there's no such thing as sick. Not
Mm-hmm.
in how they give it to us or how they try to get us to portray it. What we
Mm-hmm.
call sick and getting paranoid and all this, that's the brain coming back to its natural form. What we
That
call
makes
sick
sense as
is,
well. That makes sense as well. Mm-hmm.
we call sick is the organs trying to get back in natural
Mm.
tune with
For
itself.
some people, deep. For some people, not. Some people's tuned all the way out and them gone now. No, we got. This is what I'm saying. When we're coming up with these
No, you're right,
theories,
you're right,
you
you're
got to
right,
look at
you're right.
there's a lot of youngsters right now. Listen,
And I was trying to
I've worked
explain.
in mental health. You understand? I've worked in that. There's a lot of youngsters right now that has been triggered
And
from smoking weed,
they're
and now
smoking,
I'm talking about gone,
they're smoking this new
done,
age skunk thing, this chemical thing.
monk as
And
we
this
call it.
chemical
Yeah.
thing, it's not herb, it's not the natural herb as we know
Mm-hmm.
it. Natural herb has those two substances, the
Mm-hmm.
endocannabinoids and the the H and the THC,
Mm-hmm.
tetrahydrocannabinoids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were just talking about, the
Mm-hmm.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
Between the balance of those, you're not supposed to get that tripping feeling. What they've done, they've taken the endocannabinoids out of the weed,
Yeah.
out of the herb. They've patented the seeds just like they're doing to all the GMO, the genetically modified organisms now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why they're legalizing it all around the world, because they're
Mm-hmm.
selling us debt. And all we're getting in that weed, listen to the word, THC, the tetrahydrocannabinoids. So that
Okay.
cell
Talk
is
to us.
turning the
Mm-hmm.
ears and people loopy.
Well, what I would say, guys, whether it's skunk, which we know is the worst of brand, or whether it's the natural cess or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, one size does not fit all, and everything is not for everyone. Even if I created something, whether it's a medicine or whatever, 99 people it could work for, the one it may not. One size does not fit all. We're not all the same beings out here. You know, and we
Do it
made very
natural.
differently, whether you're star seeds, whether you're regular human, whether you are extraterrestrial, we're all different, even if we all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The best bet is do it the natural way.
absolutely.
Boil it as
Boil it
chicken.
up and
Get it into
yeah,
the bloodstream and let the blood take the nutrient benefits of it where it needs to go.
absolutely. So on that note, as we are mindful of time,
Mm-hmm,
frequency, is there
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
anything that,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably loads, but at least on the part one, is there anything
Mm-hmm.
that you would like to touch on to close the live, that I've missed, that you've missed it, that we didn't get to exercise? You want to share?
I dropped the jewel if anyone missed the whole thing about the trophoblast. The trophoblast, the thesis of cancer, women that have been pronounced with ovary cancer and cancer in the womb and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Please go check it out. It might be an early stage of pregnancy.
Oh,
Another
wow.
thing tell a lot of people about is the sweet corn. The
Oh, yeah,
sweet
I need
corn,
to
as
stop
we
having
know
that, which I
right
have
now,
occasionally.
89% of it is GMO, genetically modified. Now,
Mm.
what the information is saying, they've also been spraying it with something,
They have?
an insecticide called glyphosate.
Mm.
Glyphosate is causing a lot of problems to our respiratory system and our body on a cellular level. So you got Dwayne Johnson. Let me pull this up for you real quick.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
A lot of people have heard me talk. Dwayne Johnson is a guy. He was a groundsman in a school in the States in 2018, August 2018. His story was on CNN and it was in the New York Times. He's been awarded 289 million in damages because of the cancer that he caught from eating all those sweet corns that he didn't know had been
Wow.
sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate is a cancer-inhabited
So
substance.
is that all sweet corns, are we saying? Not, there's not even any in
I,
particular.
I
Okay.
take no chance on any of it, and if they're doing it to them in the States, I say they're doing it here.
So basically, I'm not allowed to buy any more sweet corn.
Stay away from the sweet corn. I had to give it up. I love my corn on the cob, my queen. I love my corn on the cob. I had to give it up as well.
Like I said, there's some things that I think is moderation and some things you need to totally get rid of. So
Yeah. For what they tamper with a lot of stuff. So
I
my
might just
thing,
have
I
one
would
more
be
sweet corn and then I'll confess to you when I've had it and then I could start fresh.
best bet. I say to people,
Yeah.
stay with the earth foods.
Yeah.
Everything that the body needs comes from the earth and sunlight. Skip the middleman. We don't need the meat. The meat from these animals have been encoded. They've been coded. The creator of this world has coded the DNA of the
Imagine.
animals separate, different. Now, what they're eating and consuming is for them to grow 3 and 4, 5 times bigger than us.
Crazy.
300 pounds, 400 pounds. When
Mm.
we're consuming those, they're interacting with our cells, people.
It's like
And this
chicken and all that. Mm.
chicken is
The
the most
artificial
dangerous
chicken.
thing. So then they've got the GMO in it, the genetically
Mm-hmm.
modified things that make them get bigger, quicker. They interact with our IGF-1 growth cells, and you
Mm.
see what's happening with our children, with the obesity.
I mean, I can't believe the school children. I'm stunned at the size of the uniforms that I'm seeing in this day and age for children that hasn't even reached 15, 16 yet. It's unbelievable. But
And when you look at
it's also about us though, guys, as sensitive as we want to be towards our children. It's also about us as parents and guardians and mentors also being mindful of what we allow our children to have. There's no, I mean, all this freedom, there's levels to this freedom. Like, you know, this day and age, no. I have to crack down. If I had a younger child at this age, I'll be cracking down on dietary.
There has to be a balance. And when you're cracking down, the greatest thing is, because we said it, and let's learn from what we grew up on. Know about it and be able to explain to them. Don't just say, no, no, eat that.
Yeah, we have,
This is why you
that's how
don't
we were
eat that.
raised. No,
Yeah,
no explanation.
explain
Yeah,
to people. So let's go out there and knowledge of ourselves as well. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no doctor on this
absolutely.
planet, ain't no government on this planet that loves you more than you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Dee Carbon, otherwise known as Body Messiah.
Upright.
You have been a wonderful guest. It's always nice to have someone feed not only the spirit, but the body and everything else. And it's been a very reflective live. But I have one more question before I officially allow you to go. And it's something I ask everybody, which is your afterthoughts. How did you spend your time? How do you feel about the time you spent today talking to me on Free Flowing Thoughts? Your first visit.
We got to do a part two.
Whoop,
I was
whoop, whoop, whoop.
already prepared. I
Yeah.
looked at some of your stuff, and just like you did when your beginning of the segment, I can literally feel you. I see what you speak about. I can feel your energy. I watch how you speak to the people and what you say, and I get an energy from that. And that's one of the main things with this drink as well. I understand there's a lot of stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? I know there's certain aura feel that you have to have to develop and make these things. And the most I don't just bring you into it for no reason. My thing is, the most I say, take it to the people. I hope people can feel my energy, my energy, in knowing that seeing
That's
people heal
right.
is one of the greatest thing ever. The Body Messiah eye, it repairs the eyes on a cellular level. It takes the blurriness off the clear cornea, cleans up the whites clear of the retina. For the cataract and the glaucoma, it's more hardened mucus on the back of the eyes that's sitting on the optic nerve. The eyes don't see a thing. All the eyes is taking the light. So I'm just seeing the light that's been the cameras is designed just off the eyes. It takes in the light through the retina, the optic nerve, the clear cornea. It takes it round to the the optic nerve, and that sends the signal to the back of the brain that tells us what we're seeing. The mucus that's sitting on the back of the eyes is sitting on the optic nerve. The signal is not going through properly, and that's a lot of the people's problem. That's your glaucoma and your cataract.
Show us that one more time and let us know how much that is.
Do not let them take your cataract lenses out, people, or change your retina lens. All of them is there for a reason. They can be cleaned up and come back to their original self. All of these are in the shops right now. They're in Netta Vital in Brixton, 25 Brixton Station Road. And it's in the Unk Wellbeing Center in Willesden. Those are the only shops that got the Body Messiah eye product right now. And they're all £25. They're all £25.
That's brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Dee, you've been amazing. Thank you once again. And I will allow you to exit the live at your earliest convenience, where you see the cross. I don't know where you see it, on your left or your right.
More love to you. Keep doing what you do.
More love to you, and namaste.
And I can't wait the meeting of us on a one-on-one.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to chop it up after this live. Anyway, we'll be in touch for sure.
More love and praise.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's all about getting it to the people. Knowledge is key.
And deep souls need deeper souls.
Each one build one, my queen. Thank you. Thank you.
See you later.
Okay.
Guys, that was amazing. I always thoroughly enjoy learning about self, the body, spirituality, my favorite subject. So thank you very much, Body Messiah. We appreciate you. Guys, thank you for joining me. If you haven't added this page already, follow, support. Yeah, if you want more lives, I do lives every Wednesday and Friday, 8 p.m. UK time. If you would like to join me on a conversational piece, please feel free to get in touch. Any topic goes as long as it flows. This Friday, I'm going to be inviting back King Nigel, spiritual advisor, as well as Dre, who's very much into astrology as well as spirituality. And we're going to be exploring Topics such as out-of-body experiences, extraterrestrial and spirituality, and so much more. So if that's your thing, join me right back here on Friday, 8 p.m. Yeah, I'll see you then. Have a good night.